Hello, my friends, and welcome back to New Dalancia, our Dungeons and Dragons homebrew campaign. I'm not going to make that any longer than that this time, even though last time I debated it for quite a while. It's been a while, and we're finally back. Hope maybe with the resolution to, well, the attack on Schapeben City by the False Hydra. But first, before we do any of that, I've got a couple of very quick announcements. Firstly and foremost, I would like to welcome Mr. Remy Gunbreaker back to the table. Welcome back, Talanith Nightmoon. Great to have you.
Also known as Remy
you.
Gunbreaker on Twitch. Please go follow Remy Gunbreaker on Twitch. That is our Talanith here, and thank you so much for being part of this stream.
Yeah, I was actually
I'm
about
glad to be back.
I was actually about to say, if you need a link to Remy Gunbreaker's channel, you can look down. If you're watching this in after it's been posted to the YouTubes and to the Twitch, there is going to be a link in the little down below thing that links to everybody's Twitch channel, all of our players, including Mr. Remy Gunbreaker. Welcome back. It's great to have you.
Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad to be back.
Oh yes, thank you, Tess. That has been now posted in the chat. Chat. All right. I feel like I had other stuff. No, no, that was all the updates. All this time, that was all we had.
That's all the updates, but
That was all the updates in the world.
Please give us the summary of what happened last time, Mr. Dungeon Master.
Yes. So, yeah, since we've been out for a little bit, I wanted to for both any new viewers out there as well as returning people and all of you players, I wanted to do a quick recap of everything that's happened over the course of the how many days has it been? I believe it's been 5. Yeah, it's been 5 days since you all arrived at the Magic City, Schapeben. Um, you came here by boat. On a ship called the HMCV. Oh my God, Unbroken Promise, Unbroken Trust. That's what it was called, the Unbroken Trust. It's literally right in front of my face, and I read it wrong. You were on board the ship when you traveled to the Mirrored Plains, and there you all met with one Talanith Nightmoon. And when you arrived back at the ship, um, Ianfyr took a couple of days of study and realized that he was able to create a teleportation circle that would take you directly to Schapeben, negating the latter half of your trip and allowing Antarius and the rest of the crew to divert back down to Imajokia, where he could report to the queen there with both Kimrin and Govin now in tow. They had gifted you all with these communication devices in the way of various rings that contain these stones that you can touch on and either talk to one person in specific, or you can talk to the entire party. And you can do this kind of as much as you want. Ianfyr then created the portal. You all went through, and somehow Talanith seems to have gotten lost in that mix. I guess we'll find out more about that later, won't we? Otherwise, you were immediately taken into prison once you arrived at Schapeben. You found out that they do not allow any teleportation between the two continents because of the spreading plague throughout Solterra, which is the place that you came from. They immediately took you into prison, where Ianfyr was met by two very unexpected guests. First, his mother came in and had a little talk with him, which was a little bit unexpected just in her demeanor. And then finally, he was met by one Sarahi Weavesong, who he had presumed dead and had had caused him to leave Schapeben some 2 years ago to investigate her murder. So very strange that that she wound up being still alive. Once you, it turned out that Ianfyr's mother broke you all out of prison, and you began to sort of explore the town, where you learned that there are these various people who have gone missing, and an investigator was hired to come and investigate this. His name is Yestis. You wound up meeting with him, and he explained the entire scenario to you. It seems like people had been disappearing and just being completely forgotten by those around them. Um, I'm going to summarize this all, but at one point during this, you all go to the temple to try to, and as part of your trying to figure out how all of this is kind of piecing together. You, Yolanthe, and you, Tess, meet with your deities, who have informed the two of you that they are somehow stuck on the material plane. They are unable to traverse the planes as they normally do, which is also hindering their powers. Very big problem there, causing some sort of fuckery with the, with the way things should work, for lack of better terms. At one point, you all report back to the tavern, and the wife of the bartender has gone missing, and he no longer remembers that he was married, very sadly.
Oof.
Finally, on a whim, Tess decides to just plug her ears and realizes that once she does so, she can not only remember everything that's going on around her, but also that she can now see all of the damage that this monster has caused. So, after calling out to everyone, Rek, in a split decision, takes his rations and begins to shove them in everyone's ears as meat earplugs. Zero, thank you so much.
8-bit Siren gifted a tier 1 sub to Zero Piccolo.
Hey,
Whoa. That's
we got
was
ourselves a little
repeated.
hype train going. Hell yeah.
8-bit Siren gifted a tier 1 sub to Fluxstorm Zero.
Why? This is okay. Hold on, maybe if I
8-bit Siren gifted.
Welcome, Fluxstorm. That is an old friend of mine.
a little crazy there. I think I've subverted the
It's a bunch of gift subs. I'm sorry in
no.
advance.
Hey, I mean it's gonna I think it's gonna read them all. Who freckled ficus? Oh no.
No, that's ficus. That's Fi.
No!
That's Fi.
No, that's
That's Fi.
ficus.
Yeah.
It's
we got
gifts.
Sylvatic Kid.
It's gift subs. It's a bunch of gift subs.
It's just dinging them, right?
Yeah, it's like reading them out. Okay, you can hear that too.
Yeah.
then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Some of
You might
y'all's
need
usernames
to-
are wild.
Might need to put a a cooldown on that.
Maybe I don't even know if I can. There's
Sorry in
no,
advance.
no, this is cool. This is totally cool.
Dare you give us money?
How dare you? How dare you support the stream? That's Sideshow Bob.
He's been 86.
He's been 86.
All right. That was fun.
Anything else? Okay, let me unmute the game audio. I think that's getting doubled, which is something I need to troubleshoot. I'll just kind of put that for myself on the docket for later. Where was I?
Sorry, I totally derailed everything.
No problem.
I think
no
you were
problem.
pretty much wrapping up the recap.
Yeah, that kind of brings us to current.
Yeah, where are we at the present? Like, we're in the tavern still,
Yes,
right?
you are still in the tavern. You have spent the entire morning talking over what well, you've been kind of discussing how you're going to fight this thing. Um Yolanthe, you made your way to and from the temple of Landwillen, um, where you spoke briefly with Falscree of the Circle, the temple leader, the goblin temple leader, who you have requested send a letter on your behalf to your sister. Um, However, you still need to write said letter. I believe you did actually speak briefly with Tess to request their aid in writing this letter.
Yeah, we did that like while we were passing down the hallway, but I don't think
Her
we
aid.
actually talked about what the contents of the letter would be yet.
Yes, I think that was slated for a future.
Yeah, everyone's been so
And
frazzled.
also,
We haven't had time to sit down.
we were stalling because of an audio issue or something like that, if
Yeah.
I'm honest.
All right, that brings us up to current.
I also have in my notes that last time Tess had suggested going to the college to ask for help, and Ianfyr said that we should go to Sarahi's parents' home to get a upper hand when it comes to asking for help from the college when it comes to a beast such as this. Because we're trying to get a battle plan together. That was like the whole point.
Yeah, I think that's right.
That's what I have in my notes.
Oh my god, the rainbow barfing duck or whatever that is tripping me off.
Oh yeah, I like the rainbow barfing duck. I think that might be my favorite one. Flot
Same.
puke. Oh,
Yeah.
there's also Flotgasm. Just two over from that. There's a my
Oh
my.
my.
Okay, let's go ahead and cut over to the What Ails Ya Tavern, where the conversation continues.
Oh, and the whole reason that we decided to go to the college to ask for help was because Yestis said that maybe nobility should get involved.
Okay, okay. So at this point, you're all kind of sat out at the bar. Kolvar is still tending bar, handing you all drinks and whatnot. The entire air of the place is kind of quiet, and there's this air of concern as the front door to the bar sort of tears open. Oop, that's actually the lock button. And a familiar face enters. Remy, you should now have visibility of the scene. Yes? No?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You should also be able to move your character at your leisure.
I walk in and I start looking around the area.
You see a
I
bunch
don't
of.
think that I.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, I was like, I don't know if I see anybody yet.
As you enter the bar, the first thing you notice is just how fucking amazing this place looks compared to a lot of the other buildings that you've seen outside. The very colorful lighting around you is well, there's very colorful lighting coming from each of the sort of nooks that house these various different tables. And as you approach the bar, you see this sort of distracted bartender dealing with a bunch of familiar faces and some that you are not so familiar with.
I approach from. Whoops. Just ever so kind of cautiously, but my face lights up. Uncharacteristically, might I add, because you know that my character is, Talanith is a little bit dark and reserved, but uncharacteristically yells out, "Val!"
Val, looking up from his drink, eyes widen, and he stands up from the table.
Talanith, where have you been?
And Talanith, he regains composure for a second, realizing that he, let out a little bit more emotion than he normally does. And he says, "It's been a long story. I'm glad to see that you're all safe."
A long story. Perhaps for another time, for I am afraid we are not safe.
Why are we not safe?
Rec will reach over and tap Val on the shoulder and hold a hand out with two of the wax earplugs he made.
What? Oh, yes.
Val takes the earplugs from you and presents them to Talanith.
Place these into your ears, my friend.
He says quite loudly.
And Talanith is confused, but he trusts Val, so he reluctantly, at first, puts the earplugs in.
As soon
as plugs.
Actually, these ones are wax. Thankfully.
Oh, these are ones are wax. Okay.
These ones are
okay,
wax.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I spent all night making new ones.
There's a
Okay.
there's a good share of dread.
Does Talanith have a stone too?
Have a what?
He does not. He does not currently have a stone.
Okay.
As soon as you place those earplugs into your ears, your attention turns toward one of the two windows, either here or here on the map. As you suddenly are able to see these huge trunk-like figures that seem to be protruding from the landscape around the city. You've never seen anything like this before in your life.
I'm sorry, trunk-like.
They're like these huge, they're almost like these huge like tree trunks that just seem to reach up forever. You can kind of only make out that much detail from the windows. You're welcome if you would like to go take a closer look, of course. You've never seen anything
What are
like that
those?
before.
Yeah, I look over to Val and I ask, what exactly are those?
That, my friend, is the false Hydra.
False Hydra?
Well, would one of you like to take the lead? I'd like to continue my drink.
He pulls the mug back up to his
To explain things. Also, Talanith, welcome back.
Thank you.
Tess was
I'm glad
beginning
to
to
be
wonder what you were doing, if you had to find the nearest outhouse, if it was taking you a good while. But welcome back.
Talanith smiles, slightly, and says, "It is a story for another time. It seems like we have more pressing matters to attend to."
Absolutely, we do. Now, if you would look outside the window, she's speaking kind of loud because I don't think Talanith actually has a one of the communication devices.
He does not
that
have
we've
the
been...
sending stone.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean everybody is pretty much shouting at you. So
yeah,
you can kind of
so yeah, everyone is yelling. Everyone's yelling hardcore. There is this crazy monster outside that is swallowing people through holes in their floors. It is very hard to make sense of it.
And the bartender slowly takes Tess's drink away from her.
Fair.
You see Val Phelan kind
Absolutely
of
fair.
fumbling with something before he finally produces. This is a small ring Talanith that you can basically wear wherever you want. It is adorned with multiple different colors of stones and one big prominent blue sapphire.
Okay.
As soon as you grab it, touching the stones, you can start to hear the voices of the rest of the party in your head space. It's kind of like a link shell from 14.
Okay. So Val gives him one of these. I'm taking it.
Yes. I'll add that to your
Okay.
inventory later.
Okay.
This thing is swallowing people whole in this city. We've been trying to figure it out the entire time. If you unplug your ears, you'll totally forget about it. It took Tess
So-
a lot of trial and error to figure this out, but this whole city is being plagued, and we're now trying to figure out how to nick this.
We seem to be the only ones who are aware of its existence.
Have we got any leads?
Val looks toward the window.
Yes.
The only lead that we've come across so far is being able to see the damned thing, and Tess like slams her fist on the bar like she is frustrated. Outside of that, the only thing that we can think is going to the college and asking if they've ever seen anything like this, but also convincing them to actually hear us and believe us.
The bartender, looking kind of panicked at this point, shouts, "You're telling me there's some kind of fucked up monster right now outside of my bar?"
That's what we're telling you, friend.
Why the fuck did I set up in this goddamn city? Fuck!
We're doing our very best to help you, friend.
I'm sorry. I know you are. I have a lot on my mind lately, and for some reason this whole place it just makes me really
remembering the fact that his literal life partner was eaten by this thing. Tess is just gonna stare at him with this like heartbroken smile and say, "We're doing everything we can."
from the back room that the server, the halfling, comes back. She approaches she approaches Kolvar. Kolvar? You can barely make this out. It is rather quiet in this environment, but it almost sounds like a mumble to the rest of you who are wearing earplugs. She kind of... You see her mouth move, but you can't really make out what she's saying. And Kolvar looks really stern for a few moments. His mouth moves, and she just kind of nods and kind of slowly trudges off, starts cleaning a table.
Tess is beginning to think that we are overstaying our welcome. We need to come up with a plan very quickly here.
No, you're not. You're not overstaying your welcome. I'm just...
We should probably go to the college to actually look into this matter.
Or to the castle, as it were.
Kolvar, if Tess can speak to you one-on-one here for just a moment. This is a very good idea during this really rough time to possibly think about maybe locking up your doors.
Oh, I'm thinking about locking up my doors, all right. Maybe for good. Maybe for good.
No. Do not be too hasty. Just temporarily. Temporarily.
I just don't know if I have it in me anymore.
That is fair. Business has not been booming as much.
Oh, it's not that. It's this place. Just, feel awful here. But enough about me. Let's forget about all of that. Does anybody else want a drink?
Talanith nods no.
Wait, you nod or you shake?
I'm sorry, shaking my head, not nodding.
Talanith says yes, no.
Yes, no. Yeah.
Yes.
Talanith says
No.
yes, but shakes his head no.
Okay. If I have this down, then we either need to go to the college to request assistance, or we can approach the nobility and see if we can get some official, well, maybe a militia or some of the guard.
You hear in your head from Darkul here. As a member of the nobility from Godbury, I could go to the castle on your behalf. If and it pleases you.
I think that would be helpful, yes.
The last time we were talking about this, coming up with the battle plan, there were two options. Either we go to the college to ask for help, but Ianfyr specifically said we should go to Sarahi's parents' home to get an upper hand. Only Ianfyr would have further details on that, but that is to the best of Tess's memory.
She says, my parents could give us a little bit of, leverage with the college.
Tess is interested in leveraging Sarahi's parents against the college.
As well, I am of a noble family that could also give us leverage with the nobility.
We cannot deny that this is a strength that we very much need right now, because Tess loves you, all of you, but Tess does not feel we are enough to take on this type of beast without a little bit more help from the city.
Before we go too far, I can't make any promises, you understand?
Tess understands, but what else can we do but try?
I don't see that we have any other options myself.
Yolanthe wipes some foam from her drink off of her mouth and says, "Well, we need to do something soon. We're losing more and more people by the day."
Agreed. The more time
Exactly.
we dilly-dally, the more time we put our friends at risk.
We need to agree on something, so everyone please speak up.
I am on board with going to Sarahi's parents' home.
Yeah, I think that's a good start, especially if maybe some of us can also split off to go to the nobilities. Darkul?
We should not split.
I
That
agree.
is just Tess's opinion. If we split, it may seem like we're pushing too hard to get permissions against nobility, as if we're crossing streams, so to speak.
Also, we need to stick together lest something bad happens.
Let us start. If we could, Sarahi. Tess does not mean to step on toes. But if you could at all help convince your parents to help convince the college to help us, that would be a strength that we need in our pocket. Currently, Tess is not willing to split up because who knows if somebody falls down a hole and gets devoured. And Tess could never live with that.
I swear to you, I'll do everything I can. I may not have the best relationship with my parents, but... well, I'm very hopeful they'll listen to me.
Any other thoughts on the matter from anyone?
She kind of, like, looks toward, like, Ianfyr's direction. I'm sure they'll hear me out.
Ianfyr, what say you? Hello?
You okay, Ianfyr?
Wait, give me a sec.
Ianfyr kind of just staring at his drink. Looks distracted.
Well, if there's no argument from anyone, I think we should make our way to Sarahi's family home.
That sounds like a plan.
Val places an empty mug back on the bar and stands up. You hear the stool move across this wooden floor. He kind of turns around, places his one hand on the sending stone, well, the ring that is around his horn, and he has one hand on the hilt of his weapon. Says,
I want you all to know that no matter what, I'm with you till the end.
As is Tess.
I'm here with you all.
Scrito mimics, as is Tess.
Tess puts her hand on Scrito's shoulder and smiles at him proudly.
Jesus. That startled me.
She mimics back.
Makes crow noises.
She mimics back the crow noises.
Kind of coos happily. Kolvar, sort of at the top of his lungs and sort of a broken kind of voice, says, It seems like whatever you are headed to, that sounds dangerous. Just know I'll keep everything safe here while you're gone. I'll be here when you get back. I hope whatever it is you're doing, I hope I see all of you again. Now, go fucking kill this thing.
We will certainly try.
We certainly will, my friends.
Val seems kind of confident. Gonna go ahead and cut back to the. Go ahead.
Before we cut, Tess would like to slip Kolvar an extra 500 gold over the top of the bar.
You pull out 500 gold and place it on the bar. He moves over towards you. What's this?
Tess is begging you, please shut your doors. Anyone here, keep them close to you and keep them safe, but do not let anyone through your doors and do not let anyone leave.
Oh, this seems serious.
It is, friend.
Kind of looks a little thoughtful at the moment. He kind of looks around at all the different tables, sort of glances toward the corner here where you happen to know that all the bards are hanging out. All right. You haven't led me astray this whole time. I'll do it for you. And for, 500 gold.
Tess can only hope this can help recoup what you're going to lose from potential patrons dropping in. But it is life or death. Keep everyone in your doors. Do not let anyone in.
All right. You have my word.
Thank you, friend.
Thank you. This is 500 gold. Kind of like stashes it underneath the... Sucker.
Oh, he has no idea.
Let me go ahead and cut back to the landing page. Why don't we get some appropriate, very appropriate music going? You know, just a happy little tune.
Shall we be off, friends?
Balphalin says.
Let's go.
Rex going to carefully approach the doors and nervously look out and begin leading.
Rek, what you look out upon when you open those doors is almost uncanny. The streets are mostly barren. What was once, and you recall just a few days ago, or just yesterday even, were bustling city streets and just people milling about. Now it seems like there's no one around. Despite it being midday, there's only a few, maybe a handful of people going about their daily lives as if nothing is wrong. Balphalin, walking up behind you, places a hand on your shoulder.
Into the fray, then.
Rhett kind of jumps and it's like, oh, yeah. Come on, y'all. We gotta go. Be careful.
Once again, as you all
steps out, looking around, and starts making his way.
As you all step out into the streets, you can now see in full view these huge trunk-like necks reaching up toward the heavens, curving back down toward the landscape. Some of them affix these horrifying heads with black, void-like eyes and gaping maws affixed on each. No matter where you turn, you see these giant necks just stretching up. You're surrounded.
Talanith looks up and says, "What in the 9 hells?"
Our presumed foe.
Talanith puts his hands on his daggers, on the hilts of his daggers, ready.
Onward.
Sarahi approaches you, Rek. My home is this direction.
Which way?
She points
All
down
right.
the street and sort of directs you through the town.
Okay. Yeah, Rex gonna try to get there as directly as he can with avoiding any close holes or stalks, but without looking like he's trying to avoid.
So as you're walking, it takes about half an hour of a walk to reach her home. But about 15 minutes in, you notice one of those huge trunk-like necks bear down into the town, and and just for a moment, this ambient roar. It's like a muffled through your earplugs cacophony just becomes silent. The neck then reaches back up as you see a knot like roll down its trunk-like figure, and it retracts into the landscape. And after a time, the roaring continues.
Oof. Iolanthi's like shaking a little bit.
Tess is very obviously pale in the face and says, "Another one gone."
At this point, Rex waves everyone on and then picks up the pace in movement.
Indeed.
Let's go.
Make haste.
You all finally arrive outside of a large, what's the term I'm looking for? It's a sort of prestigious looking home. Among some of the others that you've seen that are on the sort of smaller side, this one's actually it's pretty fucking big.
Oh, this looks very fancy.
This is it. If you'll give me just a moment, I'll go speak with my parents.
Do what you need to do, please.
Sarahi, who I'm actually going to show on the screen here. One moment, please. Remember where I put this? you can see her on the board here, right? Yeah, that's her. You didn't get... No, I pinged. It's right here. I'm still getting that validation errors message. That's really weird. I'll troubleshoot that some more later.
If I do double click her image, yes, I can bring her up.
Excellent. I am not sure where I put her. There's a lot of I have a lot of folders. So Sarahi, who is pictured here, makes her way up to the door and slowly opens it and proceeds inside. At this point, you all kind of look around. These huge necks seem to still be very prevalent around you, and that one that seems to have retracted into the earth has now protruded back up toward the heavens. these. I know I put these people somewhere. Oh, yes. Okay. Before long, Sarahi appears once again in the doorway, this time led by two individuals. Firstly is a male elf figure. That is what he looks like.
Nerd with the glasses, nerd.
He does appear to be on the older side. He has quite short hair and is wearing glasses, as you can see. He looks out over you with sort of a stern look on his face. The second figure, following just beyond him, looks like this.
Tess is going to put on her biggest smile and wave sheepishly at both of them.
Who you kind of perceive as her father at this point, sort of rolls his eyes at you, has a giant grimace on his face, while the mother has a sort of more of a neutral look. They kind of look at each other briefly, and then the three of them approach the party. Friends, this is my father, Perrin, and my mother, Clorinda. Parents, these are my friends.
Not to be the note taker, can you spell those for me? Perrin?
Perrin, P-E-R-E-N, and Clorinda, C-L-O-R-I-N-D-A. So like...
Hang on real quick. I can only type so fast.
Sorry.
So the dad is Perrin and the mom is who?
Clorinda, C-L-O-R-I-N-D-A.
Thank you.
And there they are on the small. You can still see them on the screen, but Perrin still looking quite irritated with the entire ordeal. Under his breath, and you can barely make this out, but he says, "We're more like troublemakers."
Talanith
What?
narrows his eyes.
Ianfyr growls just a little bit.
What was that? Tess could not quite hear you. Can you please speak up?
Oh, of course. I said more like troublemakers. Seriously, your brain is wet. And why are you here?
Your attitude is actually making Tess's brain dry. Not as wet as you may think.
This was a dumb idea. I'm going back inside.
Rek walks over with another set of earplugs and hands them out to the daughter.
Oh, Mother, Father, can you please put in these earplugs? Her mother sort of questioningly places them into her ears and then sort of looks up toward all of these huge trunks and is just kind of... The father, arms still crossed, doesn't take the earplugs and is still kind of huffing. Walking back toward the house.
Rek will reach out and grab him.
I'd like you to make a... I'll call it a dexterity check.
Just a check.
Yep, just a check.
Okay.
We have a 6. Not terribly hard. So you grab him by the shoulder. He immediately yanks away, turns toward you, and says, "Sir, unhand me!"
Oh, I don't like this guy.
Rek will reach out with both arms, grab him by the shoulders, and stare him down in the face and be like, "We are trying to save your life and your town, and you will listen." And then he will push him back out towards the yard where everyone else is at.
Please roll an intimidation check to start.
Let's go.
16.
I saw it think about landing on that one. That stressed me out.
And no, with the 16, let's just go with that. So he so as soon as you grab him, he's looking you dead in the eyes. He sees how serious you are about this, and he immediately sort of backs down. You kind of shove him back toward the rest of the party. And the wife, who is like completely what's the term? Just completely, well, not frozen necessarily, but just in shock, grabs him and just clumsily hands him these earplugs, which he grabs, rolls his eyes once again, places them into his ears, and then also gazes up toward these huge white trunks. Gods. The hell is that?
That is the reason that we come to you now. Your city is suffering, and we need your help.
Okay, you have my attention. What can I possibly do to fight this?
Sarahi, if you could.
We are but a small band of adventurers. We, to fight this, could use any help we can get, obviously. Whether it be from the castle, the college, anything we can leverage, but with your help, we can get that assistance. We can beat this thing. I know that we can. The mother, Clorinda, sort of grabs her, kind of clutches her pearls, if you will. She's not wearing any, but she like clutches at her shirt, let's say. Absolutely not. I will not have my daughter putting herself in danger for whatever this is.
It is already happening. Do you want to be next? Do you understand what this creature does?
No.
And Tess is going to get up really close to Sarahi's mom. Like, she's going to get up really close, and, like, if she allows it, Tess is going to grab, like, both of her cheeks and force her to make eye contact with Tess.
Go ahead and roll a dexterity check, please.
I will.
When you say cheeks,
Not the butt cheeks. Not the butt cheeks. Okay, now give me a moment. I'm trying to remember how to use D&D Beyond. Not spells.
So go to your first page of your character sheet. You should have all of your abilities listed. over there
Okay,
on the
when
left.
I see the little cog, you see what I mean, stream? When you see the little cog, I think settings. Okay.
Name.
Okay.
And then
yeah.
up at the top where it says
that's me.
Dex.
Yeah, right there. I see it. Tess is not the best at this, so we're gonna try our best.
Very nice.
Hey, that was pretty good.
So you grab her by the face.
She's gonna grab her by the face, like literally like smushing her cheeks. And Tess is short. I don't know how tall Sarahi's parents are.
You're reaching up.
Yeah, you're on your tippy toes.
On the tippy toes, tilting the head down toward Tess. and saying, "This creature is eating the city alive, and if we do not do something, you will be next. This is serious. Throw all of our lives down the drain. It does not matter, because if we cannot fix this, all of us will be next."
The Perrin chimes in. He places his hand on your shoulder and says, okay, we'll help. And Clorinda says, I just ask that you leave our daughter out of it.
How about you ask how your daughter feels about this? And then finally, Tess lets go of the face and steps back. Sarahi, how do you feel?
The two parents kind of look at each other for a few moments. Perrin crosses his arms. He kind of sighs, staring off to one side. Clorinda, panicked. Absolutely not. You're not putting yourself in danger. You're not doing this. You are our daughter, and I am not losing you.
As the only daughter for the only mother that Tess has ever had. Tess's mother allowed Tess to do so much more. Please allow your daughter to do what she feels like doing. Do not speak for her. Sarahi, please.
Can you go ahead and roll a charisma check for me, please?
Yes. Charisma I'm looking for. Hang on. No, wait. Hang on. Where? Sorry. Taking me a while to get used to playing again. Sarahi, please speak up.
Sarahi, tears just streaming down her face at this point. Mother, father, there is so much more at stake here than one insignificant life. If you could just stop treating me like a fucking child.
This is what you should be listening to. Not remembering your child as a baby, but remembering your child just as their own being.
Perrin
Yes, she is your daughter,
kind
but
of...
she is
go ahead.
but she is also her own personality. She has her own strengths. She knows what is right, and she knows more than anything herself and what she wants to do. Allow her to speak for herself. You cannot control her any longer.
Perrin kind of half-heartedly, with voice sort of raised. How dare you speak to my wife and I this way? And Sarahi, again, pressing the matter. For once in your goddamn life, open your eyes. Look at me. I am grown. I am no longer the small child that you have raised. I'm capable of so much more than just living in a house with two noble parents, deigned to live a life of pushing paper and trapped in these fucking walls. Fuck's sake! And she turns around, clearly frustrated, tears streaming down her face. Fuck!
Sarahi brought us to you because she knew that you could help us. Please, just help us. and let your daughter be her own person. For once, please just listen.
This whole time, Yolanthi's been getting increasingly like antsy and like kind of pacing back and forth in the background. And she finally comes forward and she says, "We don't have time for this. The longer we stand here arguing about this, the more people get eaten. And then they get forgotten. Do you want that for anyone you know? No. Let's go."
Yolanthi, please roll an intimidation check.
Ooh, I don't think that's going to go very well at all.
Or a persuasion. I'll let you roll
Yep,
either
that's
one,
a wolf.
whichever is higher.
You said, which ones?
Intimidation or persuasion, whichever you have that is higher.
Let's see. Persuasion is a -1, so probably not that. And intimidation is also a -1.
Okay.
I was the wrong
You
person
can
for
do
this
it.
job.
Just
yeah,
roll.
let's just.
You
No,
can
it's
do
okay.
it. Just roll.
Just roll.
I
Go
with
believe you.
persuasion.
Let's go.
Chat, if you'd like to help her out, throw a cheer. I'll give her a +1.
That would be a 9.
9? Okay.
I'm actually going to go ahead and use my bend luck ability.
Oh, hey. I forgot how that works.
Hell yeah. Roll it.
Okay.
Ianfyr's going to roll a 1d4 and add that number to your saving throw as a bonus. Or a penalty if you choose to penalize you.
I'm gonna go ahead and do this as a bonus.
Never a question. That makes this a...
11.
We have a cheer. Let's also add another +1 to that. Thank you so much, Claire.
Thank you.
Wait a few minutes here. We have a 9, 10, 11, and 12 coming from the cheer. Thank you so much.
It's probably the freaky wolf eye that does it.
By the way, that seems to be enough to convince them. Perrin looks over at Clorinda. He kind of draws her in close to him by the shoulder. I suppose this has been a long time coming. But I swear, and he looks around at all of you, if you let anything happen to our daughter, I will turn the wrath of this city against you.
Tess steps forward. Tess will take all of that responsibility if anything happens. We will do our absolute best. If you could just please back us up. We are desperate at this point.
Talanith speaks up finally and says, "Wrath is already on this city."
Very well. Clorinda, let's get changed. It appears that we have business today.
Let's put on our monster fighting outfits.
Let's put on our fursuits.
This is my evening gloves.
It's my evening glove. They proceed back inside. He keeps his arm around her the entire way. Sarahi has sort of walked away from the rest of the group and is just sort of by herself, arms crossed, head drooping.
Ianfyr, you should really go check on her while you still have time.
Yes, I suppose I must.
Ianfyr, what you approach is, obviously and very, very nostalgically, your best friend. Like, as you trudge your way over to this person, devastated, memories of all of these instances of you cheating people out of money in the harbor district, of narrowly escaping old Sparky, and always right there next to you is this wonderful, supportive person.
In many ways, doesn't this just seem familiar, huh?
We've definitely dealt with our share of troubles, haven't we?
Not just the troubles, but the arguments, everything that happened. Just now it seems that, even with the city's entire life being on the line, your parents still want to do what they think best to keep you out of trouble. And just don't seem to understand that you need to be in the thick of things.
Once again, the sound of these wailing heads seems to stop as one of them dives back toward the ground.
Ugh.
And Tess is now just staring at the ground after witnessing that.
Whatever we do, we need to do it fast.
I don't suppose while we wait for whatever they're doing, we could talk about how exactly we're going to kill this thing?
We're getting there. The whole purpose of this little trip to meet Sarahi's parents was to try and get them to help us with the college. They're very
Yes.
well off.
It doesn't
And
seem. It doesn't seem like anyone knows what this thing is, or even heard of it. Are we so sure that they'll be able to help us?
If we can help them see it, yes.
We've
Okay.
already demonstrated to the two folk we've sent on this mission.
But these two folk are, again, money makes words, as far as Tess has learned. We're talking about a very affluential couple here that we can bring in to the college and help the college actually listen to us, because Tess, peers over at Ianfyr and, lowers her voice a little bit. The college hates Ianfyr. We're trying our best to make our words honest, to show everybody, and just having this influential couple here, it does a lot for us. Tess hates politics, but we're doing the best we can to get the army that we're going to need to take this thing down. We cannot do this by ourselves.
If I may interject here, could it be that someone might be controlling this thing?
Someone at the college?
I'd never considered that.
Well,
Tess has never considered that, but Tess
think
has also
about
never
this.
seen one of these things before.
Well, think about this. It almost seems like someone, it seems intentional that everyone doesn't see it. It seems a little bit more than just a common beast.
From what we've read, and we did find a book that spoke of this, although the book itself seems to have been taken as to be rooted in fiction. The book did mention that this was one of its abilities, that it existed outside of the mind's eye.
Is Yestis still with us?
Are you asking out loud, or are you?
I'm asking you as the DM.
Yes,
is
Yestis is in
actually
tow.
still with us? Okay. Yestis, what was the date on the letter that you received to come here to investigate people disappearing?
Oh, hold on. Let's...
Because Yestis was privy to this before we even landed here at Schapeben.
Here it is right here. And he hands you the letter. Looks like it was dated 7 days ago. That would have been 2 days before you came into the city. Given about a day for him to get there. Regarding the disappearance is what this letter is about. And that kind of lines up. That would have given about 2 days to get there. He arrived around the same time you did. I believe you arrived just the night before.
I'm gonna look through the book, and I'm gonna see if there's any mention about sort of like how long it takes to sort of grow in its size. See if there's any mention of sort of like because like it seems like for the size that we can observe, like it has to have been longer than a week that it's been in the city.
The book seems to imply that the false hydra starts as a sort of seed beneath a town or a city that grows on lies. And as it's fed, it begins to grow upward with these necks toward the surface, and it finally will surface itself. Perhaps it pokes up through a stone in a road, or maybe it comes up through the earth along a tree trunk. But the real rate of growth seems to be dependent on the amount that it feeds, and you know, just based on what you've seen here in the last few minutes even, it's fed quite a lot.
This just seems to be a chaotic creature who has made its nest here and is devouring souls, but Tess is not willing to discount that maybe somebody helped place it here.
Do you think, based on that perhaps the goings-on with your deity, Ianfyr, is intertwined with the false hydra?
All I know is it seems like this city must be full of a bunch of liars. This thing must have gotten really big really fast.
Tess, scrunches, like she's scrunching her face, like she's like thinking too hard, and she looks down at the ground.
Either that,
To know
may-
that there are that many lighters here in this city, and we currently do not have possession of the mirror, is quite worrisome.
It's a bit unsettling, I think.
Either way, this is all conjecture. We need to move on as fast as possible. Ianfyr, sorry, go on.
Yeah, I wonder if it may not be the quantity, but rather the lie that's being fed to it is so large that it can't help but make it so massive.
And us not having the mirror in our possession is...
We need to get that back. And then Yolanthe yells at the house, "Hurry up!"
Hurry up!
No sooner do you say that than the couple reappears fully clad in these very fine robes. Perrin has like a book strapped to his side and just vestments. Like you can tell these two are very well off. Well, we'll be headed to the castle first. And after that, we'll be headed to the school, to the college.
Unless anybody else has any other thoughts, Tess is along for the ride.
With what you said of the mirror, I think we should head to the college next.
Shh.
Speaking of ride, and Yolanthe does a quick head count, and then she snaps her fingers and casts... what was that fucking spell called? Hold on. Conjure horse. That's not what it is, but that's what she's doing.
Oh, yes, you're conjuring a bunch of horses.
I think it was...
just one for yourself.
No, I'm conjuring a bunch. I think I can only cast up to 8, so some people are probably going to have to double up, but I think it was this one.
Conjure woodland beings.
It says fey creatures, so I guess they're fairy horses.
I don't think that's the same spell. I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah.
But it wasn't fey creatures that you were summoning. It was.
They weren't like real horses. They were kind of like spectral-ish.
Yeah, they were spectral horses. Either way.
I don't know. Either way.
My Little Pony.
I cast My Little Pony.
Let me see if I can.
Friendship is magic.
We have yet another new cheer. Thank you so much for that.
Yay.
Let me see if I can grab this. We can get the. Well, in the sake of for the sake of moving things along, let's go ahead and just call that a level 1 spell. Well, that is a 4th level slot. We want a first level spell slot. Oh wait, no, that is not. Oh, okay. It's they're not 4th level. It's 4th spell slot. So I'm just gonna go ahead and expend one of your spell slots, and we'll go from there.
Okay. I mean, it should have already done.
So yes, you are able to conjure up a bunch of horses. They just kind of appear. Is everyone mounting up? Everybody going?
I
That
am.
says yes from the other room.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. From here, let's go ahead and take a break. I'm going to cut to BRB for an intermission, a 15-minute intermission, and at the beginning of which I'm going to run a long ad. This is going to serve a dual purpose of, running an ad, but also making sure that the stream is not interrupted by ads in between time. So, going to go ahead and run that. I will see you guys back in 15 minutes. Thank you so much, Claire, for the cheer as well. We'll see you in 15 minutes. We are back, my friends. Yolanthe, you just summoned a whole bunch of horses. The two parents of Sarahi have come out of their house just adorned in these official-looking attire. And as you all start to mount up, they kind of look over the entire band. And addressing Sarahi, Perrin says, "Well, seems like you've made some colorful friends. But if you trust them, I suppose I can too."
If you think we're colorful, you should hear our language when you're not around.
The mother goes, let's not get him started, please.
This one's a lot more anal than the religious supervisor that Tess grew up with, but
He is anal, all right. No, we're not doing that. Not that
Pop
kind of
off?
stream. It's not that kind of stream, guys.
pop
Lewd.
off.
Oh yeah, there's like shit going on. It's creepy and stuff. That's what the music's about.
We're like our magical horses dodging around all these tree trunks, trying not to trying to pretend that we don't see them, so they don't eat us.
Perrin says, we've no doubt we'll be able to muster the help that you require. We have a lot of pull with both the college and in the castle. But what will you do?
Who's he talking to?
Well, you all.
All of us.
Oh,
That is a good point. What are we doing?
We are just seeking support currently. Also, speaking about lighters in the city, Ianfyr. This, Mr. Storm... Storm...
Oh, Sparky.
It's old Sparky.
Old Sparky. Does he tend to have a habit of lying?
I mean, only when he's breathing.
But he has worked his way up the ranks at this college currently.
Well, that seems to be his implication, but let's just say that he wasn't exactly known for being a very skilled at his job.
Ianfyr, he was promoted only weeks after you left. He took entire credit for driving you out of the city. He made a big scene of it.
Was he the one that drove you out, Ianfyr?
There was some other circumstances that drove me out.
But not him entirely.
No.
You see Sarahi kind of shifty eyes and looks down, thoughtful, bothered.
Sarahi, do you have any thoughts on this?
I don't know. I just know
No pressure. No pressure at all, honey. No pressure.
I don't think I'm supposed to be here, but
That is besides the point. We are
Discussion for
trying to
another
get
time.
down. We are trying to get down to the main point here. We brought up.
I had something. Darkul from back. I know I haven't had much of a chance to, well, help out with this whole thing, but
Sorry, Darkul. We keep running you over.
yeah, I mean, if it's okay, I'd actually like to go with these two
This-
kind fellows and speak with the folks at the castle. I apologize. I have not properly introduced myself. I am Darkul Godbury from House Godbury. Perrin kind of narrows his vision on Darkul.
Now, he looks young, but he is full of so much wisdom.
This is the son of Govin.
Godbury, yes.
We know who you are. We know exactly who. And of course, please, it would be an honor to travel with someone of import from across the salt.
That's my boy.
While they're having this chat, Yolanthi's kind of got a thoughtful look on her face, and she guides her magic horse over to beside Ianfyr's, and she kind of nudges him and says, "This thing we're fighting, it feeds on lies, right? Like that's how it got, big and huge and all that."
That's what the book says.
She kind of
That does-
grins a little like mischievous grin, and she says, "Would exposing truths cause it any harm, you think?"
Well, if truths are the opposite of lies, I can't imagine that being fed truths would be beneficial to its health.
Of course, this all seems to be conjecture.
Yolanthe kind of shrugs and says, "It's worth as many a shot as we've got for anything else. Unless we just want to wait till it dives underground and fill in the hole."
However, it is, if Tess could speak up. Keeping an eye on Stormrider might be a good idea while we're there. If he just so happens to join in on the meeting. Because lies are feeding this creature, and from what Tess is hearing, this man has a lot of lies.
I wish there was a spell called Detect Filthy Fucking Liars.
It also seems that people are feeding this thing.
Well, I mean, there is a spell. Unfortunately, I don't know. And while it doesn't detect liars, it does compel people to tell truths.
Oh. I've heard of this, I think.
I believe we still have not answered the question of what are we doing?
What we're doing. We do. The problem is that this creature is imperceptible unless you can block out noise. So we need to be able to make it perceptible to the college first.
Perrin kind of pipes up. We can take care of that.
I'm sorry. I heard Perrin speaks up, and then I heard bark, bark.
Oh. Perrin speaks up. We can take care of that. Now that you've shown us
That was Yolanthe.
the earplugs, he's sort of at the top of his lungs here, trying to talk to you all as he has been. We can tell them about the earplugs. Shouldn't be a problem.
That still begs the
So,
question.
are we off to the college then?
Well, that depends.
I thought that was our next stop.
Oh, yeah. If Tess could, she's riding on an ethereal pony right now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can she dial back the speed back to like
Uh,
everyone else?
You haven't
real quick?
started
As far
moving
as I
yet.
know.
You're just mounted.
Okay.
Oh, this whole time I thought we were actually like riding.
Nope, still sitting out front the house. You don't have a
Okay.
destination. yet.
Okay. Well, hang
We're
on. We
still,
gotta plug in our
let's-
GPS real quick.
yeah, let's. Can Tess bring everyone around in a circle real quick? Group meeting.
You all group up.
So we do have those of us here who are willing to meet with the college.
All the horse heads point inwards towards each other.
Point blank. Meeting to we're going to meet up with the college, but Tess is thinking if we have some more stealthy members around, maybe they could sneak around and try to discover more about the college. Tess is smelling something stinky, smelly.
Well, unfortunately, when it comes to stealth, I'm kind of like face number 1 of undesirable. So, like, it can't be me.
And it cannot be Tess either, because Tess is clinky, clunky, very noisy. But Talanith? Maybe Yolanthe? Is there a way we can get together a team that can be in the background snooping stuff out while we are having an actual meeting with the college?
If I
If
may,
you're
a question. What is it that you deigned to learn from such an endeavor?
Somebody, if not the entire city, and Tess is totally willing to admit the entire city is full of liars, but Tess has a feeling that maybe somebody in the college maybe invited this creature here.
Something I'm not understanding personally, says Yestus. I mean, everybody
That
lies
was-
at some point. Like, what would be the difference between telling one lie and telling another one?
Now, Ianfyr, if Tess could, Storm Bieber, however, Storm something, Tess cannot remember, but this rival here claims he sent Ianfyr running and crying from the city. Tess cannot help but just look a little bit more into him, and it could be nothing, but Tess cannot help but think possibly somebody may have unintentionally invited this monster, this eldritch horror being, to this town, and now it is simply out of control.
Well,
And
the
there
thing
is
that-
nothing this person can do to stop it.
Well, the thing that concerns me is if it's Sparky's involved, he's a middleman at best, because he's not that smart and he's not that skilled. And the thing is, if this thing is that big, and like the note was sent a week ago, according to Yestus, then this is something that's been growing in size for quite a while,
At least a week.
and at least a week minimum. And I mean, based off of how much the city has been affected, I mean,
Very, very
this has to be someone
convenient.
who's very well placed in order to put it somewhere.
Very convenient, however, that Storm Striver has not been swallowed up by this creature. And now that we're here, I mean, we're not saying that nobody from the college has been swallowed up, but who from the college has disappeared? There's a lot to be saying here, but one of the big outliers and big liars that Tess has noticed is that Storm Storm Reapers, your friend, your rival, He's taking a lot of credit for something he has not done. But if anything, he may actually have some answers. If he is not directly responsible.
We always said that he was the definition of better lucky than good.
But also
Sarahi
still
kind of
very
chuckles a little.
lucky. Very lucky.
Well, if we need help sniffing out a rat, I'm sure I can figure something out.
Tess
I will join
much-
you in that endeavor.
Tess is not a fan of splitting up the party, but Tess really does think some of our stealthiest friends could possibly help us get a lot more answers than we are possibly going to get face to face.
Sounds like
Right.
we are headed to the college while you lot.
Speaking as Valphalin is addressing the two parents and Darkul,
Are headed to the castle.
Tess is also along with you here. Tess will head out with you.
and we, Perrin is now addressing you. We'll be headed to the college after we conclude our business with the nobility.
All right. Now, these horses only last for about an hour, so let's everybody keep that in mind.
And we'll see you there. And with that, Perrin, Clorinda, and Darkul all head off in the direction of the castle. I'm assuming all of you are going to start setting off toward the college.
Yep.
The Institute of Thaumaturgy, which you've at this point been to twice. And for you, Talanith, the Institute of Thaumaturgy is at the... I guess I can't ping that, but it is at the sort of upper... the northwestern, I guess, side of the city. It's kind of constantly looming over the entire district, so you can see it pretty much from anywhere. It's a very, very large set of buildings.
I see it.
Schapeben is absolutely known for this college. You've heard a lot about it. You've never actually been there yourself. Outside of, well, no, you've never actually been there.
I do see it on the map, though.
Actually, now that I think about it, as you're riding, Valphalin probably approaches you, Talanith.
Have you ever been to Schapeben?
I have not.
Then where do you hail from?
A place much like yourself.
I see. Perhaps this is a conversation better suited for later.
He kind of
Talanith
looking around.
nods.
The trip from the family home of Sarahi over to the college is going to take around an hour. Actually, no, on horseback it's going to be around 30 minutes. Unless you're like full gallop. I don't know how fast you guys are wanting to go.
As fast as we can, Dad.
Is that unanimous? Everybody just wants to fucking book
Yeah,
it?
I mean, it's not like these horses have to stop and take a breath. We can
If
just
we
book
could,
it.
however, pause outside the front.
Sure. Yeah, you so about 15 minutes it takes you to ride there. Maybe a little less, full gallop. You make your way down the street. Again, I would like to point out that the streets are eerily barren.
Yeah.
Except for
When
all
we,
of our new friends with their long necks.
When we do pull up though on our little steeds, My Little Pony, Tess will say, hang on just a second. Tess has to go to the little tiefling's room and would very much prefer it if Talanith and Yolanthe could please escort Tess so that she does not get swallowed up by the big beast.
Talanith nods.
I'm sorry, it cut out for me a second there. What did you say?
Tess is making an excuse to have to go pee, but she wants you and Talanith to follow her
Okay.
to the nearest tree.
Yolanthe follows along.
Val turns to Rek.
Is this like a thing?
I don't understand what's going on, but
How, real quick, before we continue, how did Rek react to a ghost horse?
No.
I want to hear it from Rek, though.
Yeah.
I mean, you summoned it. It wasn't like it was a spooky thing.
What if the
I was
summoning
hoping-
was like, ooh, spooky horse? Nay.
Tess needs to pee, and Tess needs Talanith and Yolanthe to escort her to go pee.
It's like, that was magic. That was different than a ghost.
Okay.
Talanith, his hands on his daggers, is ready for anything, walking alongside Tess and Yolanthe.
Tess shouts, Tess simply does not want to get swallowed up by the eldritch beast that is currently staring us down.
Here, I was about to say, are you gonna say make way for piss?
Yeah, make way for piss.
I think I've read about this sort of thing. Do you think they're talking about us?
I don't have to
So
think.
do you-
I know it's usually talking about me.
Yolanthe, did you follow?
Yeah, I followed
Did you
along.
follow along? Okay. Tess honestly thinks, and Tess is going to be honest, Tess does not have to pee whatsoever, but you both are the stealthiest individuals that Tess can think of. If
So
there
we
is
should
any
break in?
way, if there is any way for you both to stealth, even if it's behind us walking through the door, if you cannot find another opening, just check things out. Tess
Yolanthe,
is a little nervous about the mirror situation and how
yeah.
they have been so ready to hold on to the mirror
Yolanthe looks
the
to
entire time.
Talanith and says, "You think I could hitch a ride?" And she kind of reaches up to touch her amulet.
Talanith is confused. He's tilting his head. What?
If I can turn into a rat, I can just ride in your pocket. Then there's less chance of us.
Oh, I see. Talanith opens up his pocket.
Yolanthe, magic, and then she's now a rat.
Just make sure you don't get too big, because we don't want 7-foot rats.
7-foot rats. Rats
as
upon
long
the
as
rats.
rats.
So Yolanthe, you're just like, oh.
I'm like in the middle of a sentence and then just start going squeak, squeaker, squeak, squeaking, and then like shrinking down Animorph style.
Squeak, squeakum, squeak.
I can't remember, like, I know that was, it's been a while. I know it was like she touches the amulet and instead of its usual green, it glows like orange, and her wolf eye glows orange, and then she starts shrinking down and is rat size, and then she skitters up to Lana's pants leg to the pocket.
Oh.
Oh my.
Well then.
The outside
all
part,
right.
you bunch of degens.
Shall we then?
Squeak. If you could, try to find an alternative entrance, but either way, please do follow in behind the rest of us. But Tess has been uneasy about this college since we landed. Tess thinks that there is more to be learned here.
I agree. Let's go.
Tess is now going to join the rest of the party and walk through the door, so from here on, you're on your own.
Talanith nods.
And Tess
Good
is
luck.
going to, she nods back at Talanith, and she's going to make her way back to the party.
And I assume Talanith will be in tow behind you.
Correct.
Depends on what Talanith wants to do.
Yeah, how do you want to handle
Yep.
this, Talanith?
Are we scoping out the back?
We are.
Okay, so you're gonna
We're
make your way
gonna-
around the back of the college. You're gonna start making
Yes.
your way around the college. Okay.
Yeah, just kind of looking around, investigating anything that's out of the ordinary.
The college is a sort of university. It's comprised of multiple different buildings, with one large building being the most prominent. This one is the one that you very much assume is what contains the Great Library. Again, multiple buildings. There are also a lot of people milling about, going about their business, students, professors, things like that. I'll get right back to y'all. Tess, so you approach the remaining party.
Apologies, Tess had a little emergency there.
It seems you have lost Talanith and Ianfyr. Ah, I see. Very well.
They seem to just be checking out the surrounding forests and taking in the wildlife and, sightseeing.
I have a quick question, actually.
Hey, go for it.
This is a mechanics question, I guess, maybe. So, in wild shape, I can't speak
Correct.
like normal, but I can think at y'all real hard, right? Can I still do that in wild shape form or no?
Define
With the stone.
think. Oh, the stone?
Yeah.
So much like with your clothes when you go into animal form, the stone just kind of becomes, I guess, a part of you. It's not really clear how that works, but
So, like, if she's a rat, she could, like, squeak, squeak, squeak.
But I would still
we
have
would-
like
we
my
would hear it?
human eldritch
the problem is,
intelligence.
in order to actually use the stone,
Yes.
you have to have a hand
And
free.
if it's like
In order to use the stone, you have to have
Case
a
of,
hand free to
like,
touch
is
it.
that how it works?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
think
can.
there was a bit of delay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
You have to have a hand free to be able to touch it. In an animal form, you don't have access to the
Hands.
stone to
Oh.
touch it.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
So
All right,
in other
never
words,
mind.
no, you are not able to communicate in that way. All you have is your core animal. You are detached from everything except for being an animal.
That's fine. Anyway, as
I actually have, though. I have one that I can do, right?
Yes, you do.
Okay, so can I communicate with Val to let him know what's going on?
Absolutely. So you know that there's like a little red stone that signifies Val. You touch it and you can send your message.
Val, Ianfyr and I are going around the back of the college to investigate anything that might be out of the ordinary, because something is not seeming right about this.
I understand. Godspeed.
Going on radio silence now.
Over and out. Well, shall we?
Actually, it would be funny if Val was like, "What's a radio?"
What is a radio? Shall
It's
we?
the thing that killed the video star.
As for the rest of us, shall we make our way inside and inquire of the mirror?
Absolutely, we should.
You all enter the large building, knowing that you will be addressing the council within here. Ianfyr, this gives you a distinct sense of dread because you know that one of the seats of the council... Wait, where did I put him? Oh my gosh. Okay,
In his
apparently
seat.
I moved him.
You didn't put him in the dream still, did you?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Oh my god, where did I put him? Probably should have been better about this. My bad. There he is. Okay, I moved him into characters. You know that this means you're definitely going to run in your old friend, Chorum, whom you had previously, turned into a rodent during your trials. Quite embarrassingly, I might add. It was the thing that got you rejected from the Institute of Thaumaturgy. Regardless, though, you all make your way into this large, stately-looking building. Inside, the halls are mostly stone. The lowest floor here has wood floors, and as you enter, every single sound echoes through all of these chambers. There are people milling around, seemingly speaking in hushed voices, but you can't really hear that as much through your earplugs. As you all walk in, the rest of them, mostly donned in various studious-looking robes and attire, turn to look at you immediately. Questioning looks or questioning glances are turned your way.
Tessa's going to give the biggest toothy grin that she can and wave.
Roll for intimidation.
Oh, no.
Right.
As soon as you do that, whoever it is you're looking at, they immediately kind of avert their eyes like they weren't looking at you the entire time and kind of go on about their business. You wind up doing it to this one younger-looking lass who grins and gives a big wave, and then somebody next to her is like, I didn't hear you.
Some fucking mean girls in this college.
Talanith, Ianfyr, you're pocket surfing right now, but Talanith, you start to make your way
Yes.
around the building. You're kind of not entirely, I wouldn't say you're stealthing, but more like you're just kind of blending into the populace here. You notice the greater majority of them are wearing, like I said, these like studious robes, but they're kind of wandering the campus, going to different buildings, just doing various tasks. But you know you need to get into this building through some means other than the front door if you're going to successfully gather the information that you're,
Do we see any vents or like little cracks in the like windows that are slightly open?
Cracks
Drain
along the
pipe?
back.
Can you roll?
Talanith yeet a rat into a window or something?
Can you roll a perception check for me?
I
certainly-
can.
Both
Oh.
of you, yeah. No,
Oh.
both of you, yeah. Go for it.
Okay.
From Talanith, we have an 18.
Mhm.
That's a respectable.
Guess which room you came into?
And from from Ratlanthe, we have
Ratlanthe.
22.
Ratlanthe.
There does happen
love
to be a
that.
window. It's propped open at a sort of angle. It's a little bit weird. These are not like shutters like you would think of a typical window. It's more like the window bows out from the bottom, which means that like basically there's like let's say a 30-degree angle from the building, with the opening pointing downward toward you.
Okay,
It's on the second
Yolanthe-
story, however.
Yolanthe starts frantically like tugging at the I guess hem of the shirt or whatever.
scarf.
Talanith says. Yeah. And she's like squeaking and pointing up at the window with her little paw.
And Talanith looks up.
Sees the window.
Now this the window, is this something that is big enough to climb in through?
Yeah,
or
you think
just
you think you could get in through it if you
Yeah.
could get up there.
okay. I think that's what I'm going to go for.
Okay, how are you getting up there?
Oh.
It's kind
What's
of
the
a straight
wall of
shot.
this
There isn't
building
really
look-
anything that looks like you could get a grip on it or anything. You'll have to find some way to get in there.
Toss me in.
You'll have to toss me.
You have to toss me. Don't tell the elf.
Because if I go in, then I can see if there's anyone inside, and then if the coast is clear, I can turn back into
Get a
myself.
rope.
And, yeah,
Get a rope.
or something.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
true, yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and
Which I convey through a series of I don't know.
squeaks.
Interpretive
Not
dance.
Yes. Think like Courage the Cowardly Dog doing his little.
Yeah.
Okay, so I reach into my scarf, my purple plaid
Make
scarf
a
here,
slingshot.
and no. And oh, how far up is this window?
It's on the second story, so we'll say around 12 to 16 feet.
I mean, Yolanthe can probably climb up that, in her rat form, right?
Yeah, I've got little claws.
Yolanthe can
Yeah.
probably find a way.
Okay, so I'm gonna reach into
Please
my
don't splat the rat.
no, I'm gonna reach into my purple, clad scarf here and hold her up, so that she can climb up. And I'm gonna be looking around me to make sure nobody really, is suspicious of us.
Talanith, go ahead and roll a stealth check for me.
All right. Oh, that scared me. That really scared me because that was
Don't you
almost
hate
a
that?
one. Yeah. Oh my god. My heart skipped a beat.
These
just
dice
now.
love to tease us.
You carefully look around. It seems like no one's paying attention. You raise up your arm, and backward the small rat Ratlanthe climbs up your arm and begins to scale the side of this building. Yolanthe, you're barely able to get your claws into the into sort of the nooks and crannies of each of the stones, but with a dexterity check.
All right, let's see. Ooh, my dexterity is actually not great as a rat, surprisingly enough. Let's see.
Oh, you might need a few cheers to give you +1s. Oh!
Not bad.
Very
It's not bad.
nice. That is a very nice
Some
roll.
Good rolls today.
So, you've done this a few times, perhaps, but you do make your way up to the window. Once you're there, you see what looks to be a, well, for the most part, vacated classroom. There seems to be a teacher or a professor there who is wiping a board clean, Then he kind of turns around toward this desk. Doesn't seem to notice you.
All right. I'm gonna try to skitter across. Where, like, there's a door. I'm guessing that's opened. Hopefully.
There are, but I should point out these are stone floors. I'm gonna need you to roll a stealth check.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Let me see. So what I want to do is I want to try and I'm gonna wait until the teacher or the professor is back turned, and then I'm just gonna book it for the door.
Okay. Go ahead and roll it.
And that's the stealth. Oh boy. Oh boy. Ain't no cheers gonna help with that.
Do you have inspiration?
Oh, you know what? Is that what this little orange guy is? Yeah, I do. Okay.
You have inspiration. I have inspiration!
That's a roll it again or add something to it.
That is a roll it again.
Roll again.
Roll it again,
Okay,
but you
thank
must keep the new roll.
Okay. Everybody hold your breath.
Hold on to your butts.
I mean, the worst you can do is just roll another one.
That is
Okay.
a respectable stealth.
Respectable stealthing. All right.
As soon as
so
that professor's back is turned, you skitter across the floor as quietly as you can. We'll say as quietly as you can.
Okay, so outside the door, what do I see?
As soon as you make it underneath the door,
Or
it's a
underneath
closed door. But there's enough space for you underneath to just kind of squeeze underneath. And as soon as you get out there, you see a bustling hallway full of these robed-clad figures and several figures who are not wearing robes. You're looking to your right.
Are they naked?
No. They're just they're wearing other adornments. Some of them very professional looking. Some of them more like some of them look more like either guards or sometimes even an adventurer. Maybe
That guy's got a fursuit on.
looking to your right and left, you see that you are in this sort of hallway, and at the end of it is a sort of door, just kind of off on its own, away from all of the other doors that look like they're classrooms. This one looks a little bit more official, and there's some kind of thing right next to it that looks like it has a thing scribbled on it, but fuck if you can read it.
Yeah, even regular Yolanthe can't, so rat land. The problem. I don't think we thought this through very well because I'm not really entirely sure what I'm supposed to do as a rat. I'm gonna try to get a closer look at that door, I guess, or maybe a closer listen.
Start to skitter over toward the door. Still, it seems like no one in the bustle can really notices
I'm
you.
keeping as close to the wall as I can,
Talanith.
preferably if there's.
Talanith, what are you doing at this point?
Kind of looking up and seeing if maybe I can use. I don't know. I do have acrobatics. I don't know if that can be used to hop up.
You can,
The build.
You can certainly try.
I like the way you said that. Okay. So, do I run a dexterity
Acrobatics check.
roll? Okay.
I just want to say the rat picture chosen for my my rat's character sheet has a really furry tail and it's kind of unsettling looking. Holy shit.
Did you see the roll?
Yes, I did. That is a very
Okay.
nice roll.
That's not very nice.
That was
Okay.
a respectable roller.
Respectable roller.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh wait. So we I just got warned that pre-roll ads are probably going to take place. So we're going to take a short 1-minute break and roll a 60-second ad so that nobody gets impacted by that. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. We are back. Welcome back. Sorry about that, guys. I'm trying to prevent any pre-roll ads from interrupting our thing here. We're still rolling the creepy music. This was the creepy. Okay. So Talanith, you are able to use your acrobatics to get whatever hold you can on these stones that make up this wall, and you finally make it up to the window ledge where you peer over the top and just see this professor in here working. This is going to take some doing to get through this one. But before we go into that, Rek and Tess, Val, Yestis, everyone else. So you all come into this big prominent hall. There are people milling about. You see stairs that lead up into various hallways and a sign pointing up to the right wing. And it says the council congregation.
Is that where we need to go? And Rek points.
Sounds like a pretty sure bet to me.
Rek proceeds in that direction unless somebody looks like they're going to stop him.
Hold on for a minute. What did the sign say?
It's like the council's congregation.
Council's congregation. Okay. That does sound like a very important sign to follow. Sarahi's the parental units. How do you feel?
They're not here. They went to the castle.
They went. Okay.
Yeah, Sarahi is also with you.
That does seem like a pretty important sign. Let's follow it.
I am behind you.
You all start proceeding up the stairs and come upon a huge double door. That's sort of in this at the beginning of this this wing of the college. It seems to have multiple different smaller doors down this hallway, but this is this big prominent door that has a sign that reads the same: the council's congregation hall.
Here, I thought it was going to say the council's congregation chamber.
The congregation chamber, congregation hall. It translates about the same.
We love some alliteration. I'm gonna put that in my notes. Council's congregation chamber. Let's go.
Yeah, I like that.
Rek reaches out and puts a nice thudding knock in, waits a second, and then opens the door.
There's an echo, and as you tear these doors open, both doors, by the way, open up. You suddenly stand in the midst of, the council. There are several various prominent-looking figures all standing about. Some of them sitting at desks, and they all are now eyes on you. From among the crowd, Ianfyr,
Tess,
go ahead.
If I could. When the door opens up and all eyes turn toward those of us who have appeared in the doorway, Tess reaches her hand up in like a stiff 5 and says, "Hello."
One of the figures, a tiefling, Ianfyr, it's Torum. It's Professor Torzalan. There's this picture. He walks toward you, arms folded. And to what do we owe this honor, as it were?
He's also a tiefling? Is this the
He's a tiefling, yes.
This is who I'm seeing on my
That's him.
screen right now? Okay. Tess will give Ianfyr a chance to reply.
Yeah, he is like directly
Yeah.
addressing you, Ianfyr.
Yeah, so you want to tell me when this city started growing tree trunks that ate people?
Nailed it.
Excuse me.
Couldn't have done it better.
After everyone comes in, Rex shuts the door. The doors.
I'm just wondering who put in the landscaping because that sounds like a pretty important feature.
Why have you interrupted this council meeting?
Well, it seems like the council would want to know about their citizens being eaten up by giant creatures.
Huh.
You know, so that way
Okay.
there wouldn't be people there.
Sure. I think he's finally gone mad. We can't hear you.
That's because I wasn't speaking.
Question.
Go on.
Is this person currently considered a foe because he is going against us?
Yes.
I mean, he would probably be considered a foe of Ianfyr just because of their
Yeah,
background.
it kind of depends on the context.
Can I, well... Put it in the chat. If there's a chance that the test could possibly deafen
Oh.
this tiefling for a moment, and
He does seem adversarial. That's the thing.
yeah, he ultimately, like, at the very beginning, he's like against us, right? So I kind of consider that like a foe.
Yeah, that's fine. Basically, in this case, I think a foe just means an unwilling target. So yes, absolutely. I'll allow it.
That's a DC 14 Constitution saving throw.
As Rec looks around, is there any windows out of this chamber?
Yes, there are several windows along the rear of the chamber. They look out over the courtyard.
Tess is just trying to deafen this tiefling. Like, she's not even gonna say a word. Just gonna try to deafen.
I like the all question marker thing.
I like that too.
Okay, then that wouldn't do that though.
You you cant your spell, and you well, it looks like there's a verbal component to this. So you cant your spell. You he kind of catches on immediately to what you're doing, places his hand up, and immediately counters your spell and says, "What's the meaning of this?"
Your city is under attack. And Tess is just trying to help you see this. From tiefling to tiefling. Please.
You have our attention. Make your point before I call the guards.
My point is, if you could just listen to Tess for a moment, or even just not even, plug your ears and look out the window closest to you.
All right. I'll bite.
Persuasion.
No. He turns around,
Okay.
walks over to the window, and then he looks back at you.
Plug your ears.
He plugs his ears, and immediately his eyes grow wide, and he turns around.
By the gods!
Suddenly, everyone in this whole congregation is like up at the windows, like plugging their ears and like looking out and immediately freaking out.
Yeah, you might want to check your gardener because someone has planted that thing and it's been feasting on this city.
Ianfyr, shut up.
God.
He immediately
We come here not to make a joke of you or your city.
He immediately unplugs his ears and goes, "What?"
Oh no.
Rick
Are there
pulls
still
out the
people-
bag of
Yeah,
earplugs.
Rick
Be like,
pulls out the bag.
here you go.
Are there
How
still
many-
people? Wait, so other people plugged their ears and they were looking out the window, right? So
Oh, there are probably still a few people who are like looking outside, and then as soon as he like unplugs his ears and says that, maybe some of them look around and like maybe some of them unplug their ears still, but there are a good like 10 people in here.
this may sound very silly to you, but you just understood what Tess was putting down until you unplugged your ears, and Tess is begging you from tiefling to tiefling. Please, plug your ears.
He plugs his ears once again, looks at the window, ha! And then he unplugs his ears.
See, now we had a moment to grapple him, but we did not actually have a moment to grapple him.
Oh, you still have a moment to grapple him. He's still there.
Yeah, Rick,
Rick?
why don't you go ahead and make our friend here?
Jesus.
Wreck, if you could, please tackle the tiefling
Please-
to the ground
Please
and
fucking beat the shit out of
force
him.
some-
I walk up to him.
Not hurt him, just put plugs
I
in
walk
his
up to him at
ears.
first and hold out the earplugs.
He looks down at your hand. And then he looks up at you actually kind of inquisitively, says, "I'm half orc. If I'm not mistaken, we don't see many of your kind around here. What brings you to Schapeben?"
And I am like eyebrow raised. I am and point with the other hand to the earplugs in my ears and hold it out in front of him again. I'm trying to save your city.
Okay. No need to shout. He takes the earplugs, places them into his ears. By the gods! Who knew there was something out there the entire time?
Oh, Jesus.
No fucking shit. Do you see how slimmed down your city is?
Language?
And then at this point, Rick
Language.
then walks around the
Times like
room
this,
offering
we have giant
earplugs
creatures
to
eating our
anyone
food.
else
Wait.
who will take them.
Sorry, Reg. Go ahead.
Rex
At this
going,
point, Rick walking around the room, handing out earplugs to whoever will take them.
Rex, can
Yes.
you go ahead and roll a charisma check, please?
Oh, this is going to be terrible.
Terribly entertaining,
you know
you
what?
mean?
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bend that luck a little bit.
Got a 1d4. Go ahead and roll.
Claire, where you at with them cheers?
Oh, we can't just rely on Claire's cheers. But if anybody does cheer, I'll give you a +1.
Oh,
We're up
nice.
to a 12 so far. That is a nice roll, Ianfyr. Good one. Giving you a couple minutes. Okay. You are able to sway, let's say a little bit over half of the congregation here to place earplugs into their ears. And as soon as they do, they all start talking among themselves. You start to see the others plug their ears once more with their hands. And then they start to sort of speak amongst each other, and before long, you have exhausted. Well, I don't want to say. Well, yeah, you've probably exhausted your supply of these earplugs at this point, and have definitely proven your point across the board. Apologies. You have my attention.
I'm gonna pull out from my inventory the book. Give me a sec. Where is it here?
Yes, I don't even remember the name of that book.
Mythical Monsters of Madness.
That's right, Mythical Monsters of Madness.
So, and then I'm gonna lay it down, basically between the two of them and say, we were helping out someone who was trying to find a lost citizen, and uncovered a wealth of lost individuals that were forgotten by everyone. And it seems to be related to this monstrosity that's growing within the city.
You open up the book to a bookmark that you've placed inside the book at the spot where the false Hydra is. They start to look at it, and over the drawings by this artist, can immediately recognize what they're seeing. Chorum, interesting that a book of fable could come true before our very eyes. I'd like to take this moment to cut back to Talanith, who has just peered over the side of this window, and inside there is a professor seemingly going about his business. Somehow you'll need to make your way past him.
Should I do a stealth check?
What are you going to do? How are you? What are you?
Try and make it past him.
So you're just gonna?
Actually, you know what?
He's gonna skitter across the floor too.
Actually, you know what? I kind of want to see what he's doing.
Okay, so you want to sit and kind of watch him for a while?
Yes. Kind of just sitting there, Spider-Man like, narrowing my eyes at him.
So you kind of watch through the window, and he finishes wiping this board, and then he approaches the desk, places his one hand on the desk, looks down at what appears to be an open book, and kind of out loud, you can hear this because the room has a sort of echo to it, and there isn't a whole lot of other noise that's reaching you at this point with the window behind you, but he says, "Attendance is low again. Seems like ever since that red wizard arrived."
I whisper to myself, I knew it.
He just kind of goes on about his business, doesn't say much else. He sits down at the desk. He starts to scribble in this book.
I need to get by him then. So I need to do a stealth check.
Yes. That's a 16.
Tess, are you sure we were the stealthy people?
That is a 16.
What'd you
That is a 16.
Pretty sure.
Oh, I thought it was
Okay.
landed on the 5.
It
That's
did
cool.
land on
Well,
a
I
5.
have
He's
a-
got a +3
I
and
have
a
a
+8.
11.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, I'm fine.
How does this go
Okay,
down?
so I'm gonna try and escape to. There's a hallway nearby, right?
There is, but it's through a closed door.
Shit.
So you're able to you wait for a moment where he's obviously he's kind of what's the term I'm looking for? He's like kind of in something in this book.
Engrossed?
Engrossed, that works, yes. And you
Okay.
kind of hop through the window really quick. He almost notices you. He looks up from his book, and then he gets up, moving toward the window. You kind of crouch around one of the desks. He closes the window behind you. Probably just a draft.
Must have been the wind.
Fuck?
Must have been the wind.
I thought you said probably just a giraffe. I was like, why would that?
Probably a giraffe.
Yeah.
Damn giraffes.
They're always peering through my windows.
Them deaf.
Especially that I'm paying.
Them damn giraffes.
Well, goddamn. Okay, so I'm gonna. Well, I mean, there's not much that I can do. He's gonna hear me. He's gonna hear me if I go towards the door and open it. So I'm just gonna sit there and wait for him to notice me when he turns around. And I'm
Like in
going to
plain
try
sight?
and interrogate him. Oh yes.
Okay.
I'm going to interrogate him.
Ooh.
I say red wizard, huh?
You frightened me. How did you
That
get in
was
here?
the point. Tell me about this red wizard.
Intimidation check, please. $14. All right.
Well, the first thing I would say is he needs food badly.
A gaunt red wizard has come to Schapeben, and he's been to the castle, integrated with the nobility, and came here and had his talk with our council. That's all I know. Who are you?
Do you know his name?
No. Who are you?
That's not important right now.
I think
I
it
need you
is.
to. I need you to plug your ears and look out the window now.
What, my ears? What?
Just do it.
Okay. Seems harmless enough. Oh my god! And then he unplugs his ears. Who are you?
Again, that's not important, friend. Just know that I'm one trying to stop this. Tell me, do you know anything else about this red wizard?
Stop what? Exactly.
You do have eyes, don't you?
I do?
You saw what I had you look at, didn't you?
I looked out the window.
And you plugged your ears.
He plugs his ears again and looks out the window. Good gods! And then he immediately unplugs his ears and goes, Who are you?
I don't have any spare earplugs, do I?
You don't.
No, but you may have the opportunity to disappear the next time
you have
can
any
convince
rations?
him. to-
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can chew up some meat.
Do I?
with his ears.
Let me check my inventory here. Do I have like? Hold on.
Do I have any rations?
Actually,
Talanith's
Thanks,
like,
Rec.
I plug his
Yep.
ears for him.
Permanently.
Started a trend.
hold on.
How the hell does my rat form have 73 hit points?
Have you seen how tiny rats are?
That's a lot, though.
I mean, compared to a mouse, though,
I guess.
it's probably a little different. Like rats,
I feel like
they like you can barely hold a rat with like your entire hand. And I've known because I've owned rats before. They're chunky.
They can also squeeze
Actually-
into places you'd be pretty surprised about.
Actually, I do have rations. I put up one finger and I said, "Here, 1 second," and I pull out rations.
You gonna
And
chew
immediately-
those? You gonna chew
I'm-
those and then just
I'm not hungry, thanks.
is
Yes.
Talanith about to hawk Tua on some fucking rations?
I'm starting to get the idea that I need to call the guards.
No, you don't. Just
Um,
one moment.
He starts going
I'm doing
going
it.
for the door. Go ahead and roll a
Can I intercept
actually
him?
roll a persuasion check for me.
Okay, all right. I'm trying to get back to that. Hold on.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
I do have rations. God damn it, Rick.
Talanith be hawk Tua. Straight up on
Okay.
the rations. He,
Which one? Oh, persuasion, right?
Persuasion, yes, please.
With
Okay,
disadvantage
persuasion.
because nobody's sticking someone else's meat in their ears.
Oh, well then.
Woo!
I'm very
I
convincing.
mean, that it is a smaller hole than normal to stick your meat into.
All right. Look, I'm not sure who you are. You seem very serious.
I
Why
am.
don't you just tell me what's going on?
I think I already have. There's some kind of force that has brought some kind of horror to this city, and it is devouring people. I aim to find out where this thing came from, and you're going to help me.
Very well. Let's move on the assumption this thing exists. How can I help you figure out where it came from?
What is your job here?
I am a professor.
A professor of what exactly?
A professor of evocation. Do you intend
Okay.
to learn magic to fight this?
I
That's
don't.
sad.
Who is the red wizard?
Yes. Who is he? This red wizard, you said that he arrived at the same time, around the same time that attendance is low. What kind of attendance are you actually referring to?
Oh, the attendance of my class. And yes, since he showed up, he has... It seems as though he's drawn the attention of quite a few students. He...
As he now.
Can I,
Yeah, sure, what's up?
is it possible for me to roll a perception check, maybe with disadvantage or whatever, to see if I can hear Talanith's voice and go back to him?
Yes, you can.
Regular or
Disadvantage. You
Disadvantage?
have your
Okay.
plugs in. It's not a bad fucking roll.
Yeah.
Just
so
You just barely catch it, but you hear Talanith's
Yeah.
voice come from the other room, and you
yeah,
suddenly become...
Ratlanthi's ears perk up and she about faces and skitters back to that classroom and tries to squeeze back under the door.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to roll anything for that, but you just make it back. There's a lot of bustle in this hallway, and you skitter underneath the door. There you see Talanith, who is seemingly engaged in a conversation with this professor. No weapons are drawn, which is probably lucky.
All right, she kind of races over and does this kind of like jump to is Talanith sitting or standing?
No, I am standing.
Okay, she jumps over to where she's like trying to aim back to the pocket. Or like actually she wants to be on his shoulder instead of on the pocket, so she's gonna try to climb up.
You roll a
Surprise.
dexterity check for me.
Oh, yeah.
Talanith, you feel something tug at your the leg of your pant, and then it clambers up to your shoulder.
Not reacting to it this time the way I did the first time because I was expecting it. And plus, I'm trying to be all dark and brooding, like I am, trying to intimidate this guy. Where's this red wizard now?
I don't know that.
Who would know that?
If I had to wager a guess, it would probably either be someone in the council or, I don't know, perhaps one of the higher ups. Any of them, really. I'm not really sure, to be honest. I'm just a professor, you see. I only work here.
I narrow my eyes at him.
What are the rations for?
Right. So I chew up the rations and spit them out into my hand.
Oh, God. What are you doing?
1 second. I stick the rations in his ear.
Please roll a dexterity check. Fuck's sake, man.
Is he watching horrified as you roll up the rations in your hands?
Rek, this is your fault.
Is that like acrobatics? Because it doesn't really. It says Dex acrobatics.
No, just click on the dexterity stat.
At the
Oh,
top of
right,
the
right,
sheet,
right, up
the
there,
Word
yeah.
Dex, yeah.
Okay, got it.
I'm dying,
I mean, I
you guys.
probably
What
could
the-
use acrobatics for it.
That's a 12.
Okay.
Ah.
Can I assist somehow?
Yes.
This little rat crawls up and tries to help shove the meat rations into the ear canal.
It's a
This poor
professor.
guy's worst nightmare is coming true. Is getting attacked by a rat and having like food shoved in his ears by some rando, and then he's gonna see something horrifying. This is a bad day for this guy.
Talanith, you kind of walk up, grapple the dude, and like stick these rations into his ears, and he's like, "Oh God!" It makes a fucking sickening sound. He immediately like looks toward the window as you kind of headlock him, and he's like, "Good gods!" Loudly.
Now you won't forget.
He's like, "Oh, with like his hands like clenched around his ears. Oh." Now he's got like these meat.
Wait, I think that I forgot to ask. Did you have earplugs already?
What?
Did you have earplugs already?
No! Why would I have earplugs?
Well, now you do.
Let's go ahead and stop right here, guys.
Okay.
Stop right here while we're dying.
You fucking
This is great.
degenerates. All right. I hope that you all have have enjoyed today's session. A lot of
Yeah, I had fun. I don't know about y'all,
Yeah,
but
it
I
was a
had
blast.
fun.
I loved it. Loved it.
can't wait
I'm
to
glad to be back.
Rek, this is all your fault.
I know.
When I make a joke, it's funny.
Hey, if it works, it works.
If he makes plugs, will they plug?
Oh,
When he
God.
makes the plugs, it's money.
Wait, what?
I can't wait to see you guys again in 2 weeks from now. We'll be live again Sunday from 5 to 8 p.m. I'm sorry I messed that up on the post. It's 8 p.m. We used to do 7, now it's
Sunday.
8. 8.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Sunday, Sunday, Sunday.
Thank you, Sylvatic Kid. It was it was fun. And thank you, Talanith, for jamming meat into somebody. Is this just going to be a thing? We're just going to go around jamming meat into people's head? Like, what the fuck?
Well, maybe not their heads. We're just gonna jam our meat into their holes somehow.
Fuck's sake.
God damn it, Ianfyr.
Ianfyr.
I'll see you all.
Rex being like, what have I done?
I will see you all in 2 weeks. And until then, please keep a song in your heart. We'll see you next time. Take care.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.